Good morning, everyone. I'm here. It's Janelle. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm really loving this weather getting warmer, and we know springtime is inching closer and closer. So this morning, I mentioned last night that I was going to go live with Miss Tiffany Hinton. I should say Mrs. Tiffany Hinton, but she's a boss all in herself, and then Will's just like the perfect complement. So I wanted to come on this morning and talk a little bit about how to love your guts and why it's so important. And so I have an expert on who I'm going to bring on, who is Miss Tiffany Hinton. And I'm actually so excited to bring her on and have her share her story and a little bit more with you all. Hi, Tony. Hi, Bill. Hi, Vanessa. So glad to have you this morning. Good morning. And so I'm going to have her come on and talk a little bit about who she is, why gut health is so absolutely important, and a little bit about her story. So I'm going to bring her on. It looks like she just got on. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Geronimo. Let me get Tiffany on here. Add her on camera. Let's see how that went. All right, she'll be adding. She should be here in any second. All right.
Hi.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, how are you this morning?
I am great.
Well, you know what's funny is I titled the name of the video "Love Your Guts," and Tiffany's wearing the "Love Your Guts" shirt that I love so much.
If I put it
Cool.
on, workout clothes, maybe I'll get a workout in.
I love it. That's exactly how I feel. I'm still in my Columbia hoodie, all snuggled up. But so welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm super excited about Monday night.
Yeah. So for those of you that are watching, I'm just going to quickly share a little bit about Monday night. Monday night is an event we have put together called Wellness Rising Coalition, where we really work to educate and empower people on their health and wellness journey, no matter where they're at on that journey. And so what we do and how we do that is it's kind of like an indoor farmers market. So we have a lot of local artisans and vendors and some great products. But we also bring in very educated, relevant speakers in our community, and we allow them to provide value to you, the community, about specific areas. So this month, our focus is on gut health, and I am incredibly excited to have Tiffany come in. And for those of you who don't know who Tiffany is, I'm just going to share a little bit about who she is. Besides being a great friend of mine, we absolutely adore their family. Tiffany is a mom of 3 amazing little ladies. She has an awesome husband. She has a very high level profession at Discover and leads a large amount of people there. But her passion is really in helping women to lead a life that they love, as I mentioned last night. And Tiffany has actually significantly helped me. And as you guys can see, you're getting all types of love, Tiff, because obviously you help more people than just me. So Tiffany's helped a lot of people on this journey to better health. And my journey actually started with an autoimmune disorder called endometriosis. And my body shifted a lot, as many of you women know, once I had a baby. And Tiffany really helped me get my energy back and heal my gut, which is really where all things kind of start. And I think Tiffany agrees with that. So I'll let Tiffany share a little bit more of her story. But Tiffany, if you guys don't know this, she is sought after around the country, and she speaks on stages across the country at a lot of gluten-free expos. She's a gluten-free lifestyle expert, and she's just finished her 15th cookbook. So again, I am so honored to have Tiffany join us this morning. And she's going to talk a little bit about why gut health is so important. So I just wanted to ask her a few questions. So Tiff, is there anything you want to share about your bio, your journey that I didn't cover?
You covered a lot, so thank you. The one thing I would tell people is that my journey to finding better health started when I was 14 years old. And it went mistreated, misdiagnosed for over 14 years. And what I want you to know is if you're somebody that's on a lot of pharmaceuticals, it's not the end of your road. I was taking about 15 pills a day, sometimes 20, and I felt like I was dying when I was in my late 20s. And now I'm almost 40, and I feel like, like I'm back in junior high and have all this great energy. And it's like, oh my gosh, had I known what I know now back then, I would have never got as bad as I did. But I also have stage 4 endometriosis. And Janelle was talking a little bit about that. I have 4 autoimmune diseases myself. And what you need to know too is that a lot of times looking at the outside of somebody, you're not going to know that they've got these diseases. You don't know that they've got a chronic illness until you actually get to know the person. So don't let it drag you down. Don't think that people can see it on the outside if you're type 2 or you have RA, because they have no idea. So I want you to know that you can still be strong. And my whole job and my whole passion is to help you feel better on the inside, so what people see on the outside is true and it's real.
I love it. And I will share, like, I am 36 years old and I feel so good right now, and a huge piece of that is because of Tiffany's coaching and her guidance. Like, the biggest hurdle, I think, Tiff, for me and a lot of women, and I'm going to touch on this a little later, is mindset. Like, really having someone to help you with that mindset shift. And that's something that Tiffany has really, like, tremendously helped me with, was the mindset of my relationship to food, and, you know, thinking I had to, like, completely give things up. And what I've learned in that process is that some of the things I'm eating now taste even better and they're healthier for me. And so that's the insight and value you get from Tiffany and having her in your circle. So I'm really, really proud to have her on here. And I love what she's actually doing. So Tiffany, why do you think gut health is so critical and important for us to understand as thriving adults?
Okay, so the reason I believe gut health is super, super important is because your body gets its food and its fuel from what you eat. And in order for it to absorb the right kind of nutrients and to be able to use what you're getting or what you're digesting, it has to come from the gut lining. And so if your gut is damaged, or your biome, because we all have a biome living in our gut. And if you don't know what that is, that's like good guys and bad guys, and they're little bacteria, just like you get on your skin, and germs. And your biome can also get kind of corrupted, and the bad guys can take over. And again, that changes what you're able to pull into your cells through what you're digesting and what you're getting in your gut. So honestly, it all begins in your gut, because your gut determines what gets in, what gets out, and it also determines, they call it your second brain. It's connected through neurons and blood and all of this in your vagus nerve to your brain. So your gut can drive your emotions, it drives your hormones, it can affect your adrenals, it can affect your thyroid. And a lot of times what we find is people are treating just the adrenals, or they're treating just the thyroid, or they're treating the headache. But in reality, it all started from your gut.
Very interesting. I definitely, now that I have the knowledge I have, it's so incredible when you take that knowledge and you apply that, right? Because we can all get this knowledge and we don't know what we don't know. But when we apply the knowledge and we can actually execute it, that's where change actually happens. And so what are things that people could do to improve their gut health, or to maintain good gut health? Or how do you even know if you have good or bad gut flora?
Well, Monday night, we're actually going to be talking about 5 pretty simple things that you can do to change the inflammation in your gut that will change the inflammation in your body. So I don't want to give all that away. You got to come see us Monday.
All right.
I will tell you
that
things that you can do to maintain. If you already have, let's start with, how do you know you have a bad gut? And I would say you have headaches. You have chronic bloating. Maybe you always look 3 months pregnant and you can't lose that extra 10 pounds. And it's like this thing in your head. You're like, I've hit the plateau. Maybe you're gassy, and every time you eat cheese, you smell like the dog next door. Maybe you have, where a lot of women end up having constipation, and they believe, oh, it's normal just to poop three times a week. Sorry, you should be pooping 2 to 3 times a day. But the other thing is,
we like to talk about poop on here.
I have to talk about poop, and somebody should show up some poop emoji cons, because that's my life.
Poop is so important. If you guys think poop is important, drop a poop emoji. Like, poop is so important. Think about the people who don't poop. They just suck. So you need to poop.
Well,
sorry.
Either that or you're full of it, right? And you literally are. But the other thing to know if your gut is healthy is to inspect your poop. And a lot of you might think that's disgusting. But if your poop is white, hit the like symbol, because there are people with white poop. Some of them live in my house. And some of you are like, I've never seen white poop in my life. I get it. Hey, Angela. If your poop looks like it came from a rabbit, there's a problem. If your poop is coming out like perfectly swirled like yogurt, that is spot on and you've got a good gut.
Yes, I love it. So yes, poop matters, guys. Like, pay attention to your poop. So I also want to just quickly talk about, so again, I will put a link in the comments with an Eventbrite for the event on Monday. Here's what's crazy, guys. Tiffany normally gets paid to speak around the country. She's doing this as a favor for me, and we have Tiffany Hinton. Like, this is huge, guys. You got to come out to this event. And her book just came out. Your 15th cookbook, is that correct? Just came out.
Yes.
Thrive.
Actually, more than a cookbook. So I do have it. It's huge.
Oh, it's so pretty. Look how big it is.
It's
oh, wow.
The largest book we've ever put out. It's a program. And
okay.
I did last night for the very first time where people could touch it, feel it, look through it in the city at an event. And there was a lady that was suffering from gout in her toes. And she's like, this is perfect. And so we're shipping it out. But yeah, so we'll have this proof copy for everybody to look at Monday night, and you can flip through it. You can figure out, like, is it for you? But it is a true program. It's really amazing. It's more than just food.
And Tiffany, I know you're accepting pre-orders for the book. So what I'll do is I will also put in the link below, I'm going to put a link to Tiffany's group page as well, so you can get into contact with her. I'll put a contact page for our group page for this upcoming event that I'm talking about. We do host events once a month. Next month, we will have Dr. Justin Koop speaking, who's a functional medicine doctor. So we have a lot of great things in the pipeline for that. But I also wanted to touch on, you know, a lot of people think about guts, right, and gut health, and you hear a lot about leaky gut. And I think a lot of people still are unclear on what leaky gut is and actually how common it really is in the American society. So could you just touch, Tiffany, a little bit on leaky gut and what it is?
So inside your intestinal lining, a lot of you hear about villi or shags in the carpet, right? And you know that if you've got celiac disease or gluten intolerance, those shags get hurt. Well, leaky gut, let's think about this for a second. Where the shags come down and meet the intestinal wall, there are these microscopic little openings where your micronutrients and your little tiny proteins should be going into this blood vessel that's running along here, right? But what happens in leaky gut is those gaps get wider and wider, and you get like that little, you know, Star Trek opening up. And the food particles don't have to be so microscopic anymore to get inside. So you've got bigger things that have not been broken down completely getting into the blood. And what happens then is your gut is leaking into your bloodstream. Your body doesn't recognize it because it doesn't understand. I think somebody's jumping upstairs. It doesn't understand what that particle is. So it sends in the white blood cells. It creates an inflammatory response. You may get a bloated stomach. You may get like flu-like symptoms. And there's ways that you can close those back up naturally. One is eating great plant-based food. Another one is doing bone broth, right? So I know Connie was talking about making voodoo soup with chicken bones. The reason you want to do the bone broth is it's got the glucosamine and the glutathione. I just butchered that word. But anyway, it's got the stuff from the bone marrow that will actually start to heal and close those gaps back up so that the larger food particles can't seep in. And what's interesting is once you have leaky gut, you're highly, highly more likely to have leaky brain. And a lot of people have never heard of leaky brain, but your blood-brain barrier, you have a barrier just like your gut has where certain things are not supposed to get to your brain. And your brain can start to leach the same way, the holes get bigger, and it can cause constant headaches. It can cause all this stuff. So you want to make sure that those gaps in between the villi stay as tight as possible. And doing plant-based and doing bone broths or seaweed soups will help keep those tight.
Very, very interesting. And is it that the standard American diet, the SAD, right, as they call it, is that normally what contributes to the leaky gut syndrome?
Absolutely. We have a photo bomber, but we'll just.
I was like, I see a little one back there.
So yes, the standard American diet completely contributes to the leaky gut. Part of the reason is that it is higher in carbohydrates. It has higher sugar. And so you're feeding those little bad guys that are in your biome, and the bad guys are then wearing away at the gut.
Got it. And so yes, I love bone broth has been something I've been making for a while, and I love it. Not only is it great for your gut, it's great for your skin too because of the collagen. So bone broth is a little tip for some good skin, which you guys know I
Yes.
love.
And if you don't know how to make it, I actually have a YouTube video out there that you can go and look up Tiffany Hinton on YouTube, and there's a whole video on how to make bone broth. And actually, Frankie was the person that did the video for us. So even your children can make bone broth, and you don't need anything special. You just need a big old soup pot.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite things too about bone broth is that for me, like what I do with it is when my vegetables seem like I'm not going to put them in my salad, they're getting a little bit like wilted, or they might be getting where they're kind of mucky, I guess, is the for lack of a better word. I use them in my bone broth. I literally throw, at the end of the week, I throw everything in and make a big batch, and then I can freeze it, you know, and have it for another time. And, you know, so many people say to me, well, I don't like the taste of it. Well, you don't have to actually drink it as a bone broth. You can use it, right, to like cook other things like bases of soups, or, you know, I use it to flavor my food. How about you, Tiff? Like, you don't just drink it.
No, we use it if we're making mashed potatoes instead of milk. I will use it if I'm doing like a pot roast instead of water. I will use it a lot of like boiling vegetables. If we're gonna simmer vegetables, you can simmer. Anytime you would use water in a cooking, you use it to make gravy. I know gravy's like not supposed to be healthy. You can make it healthy. So you can use it any way like that. Or even if you're making like a biscuit and it calls for water, you can throw bone broth in and make it like a savory biscuit or a savory muffin, which will then your system. The other thing you were mentioning, Janelle, is mushy vegetables. Save the roots of the celery, the tops of the celery, save the carrot ends when you cut them off, save all those excess pieces that you would normally throw away, the center of the green peppers, any of that stuff, the tops of the onions. Use that in your bone broth. If you've got thyme or parsley or any of that that's starting to go yucky, throw it in the freezer. And then when you do your bone broth, you can add some of that. I always like to add garlic and onion to my own bone broth that I make. You could even make faux soup with bone broth.
Yeah, I'm a big ginger. I add so much ginger to mine because I just love ginger. But yeah, bone broth, we're going to be sampling that on Monday at Monday night's event. It's going to be a voodoo broth, which, you know, voodoo broth, for those of you who don't know, it's made from like parts of the animal that most people will not use. So this is going to be made with chicken feet. So it's going to be a great voodoo broth. And I'm going to be making a cabbage detox soup. That's one of my favorites. That'll help you burn fat as well. And so those are going to be for sample. We also are going to have, so Tiffany's going to be doing a talk on the 5 steps to heal inflammation in your body, which is a super valuable, I use those 5 steps every single day, and I'm feeling great.
And now, when you put those 5 steps into practice, what changed for you in that first 2 weeks?
Wow. So, well, the first 2 weeks were definitely the most difficult. But I was so grateful that I had access to Tiffany because she really kept me accountable. And I guess what changed for me is that in the first 2 weeks, I immediately was able to feel less bloating. The brain fog had been lifted, essentially. Fatigue, I had a lot of fatigue. I was sleeping a lot, like napping a lot with Liam, not intentionally napping. So that all stopped. My energy went through the roof. And a lot of you know me, I already have a lot of energy. So me on more energy is a little crazy, but I don't drink any caffeine either. It's been awesome. Like, I will have to say the inflammation is the biggest piece that has gone down significantly in my body. And so that's been huge. Yeah, Tiffany has been a huge blessing, guys. If you don't know who she is, you've got to know you've got to come meet her, listen to her. I guarantee you know someone that can benefit from her knowledge and the value that she provides. So before I go any further, I also want to just, if you guys can drop in the comments, hashtag value, if you got some value from this video. I know I did. And again, I'm just, we wanted to promote her being at the event on Monday. And we also have Annette Winkleman, who is going to be doing a demonstration, a cooking demonstration. She's a wellness chef, and she's going to be doing a cooking demonstration on some foods that can benefit your gut. So we have Tiffany and Annette, an amazing duo that's going to be there this Monday at the American Legion in Elgin. I will also drop that information. It's from 5:30 to 8:30, and I will say that this is a kid-friendly event. I'm sure Tiffany's kids may be there. I know Liam is always there, and it's always fun because we have a great group of people, and I'm going to be doing more and more of these lives so that you can get introduced to some of the people that we have in that coalition. I also wanted to mention that we are considering expanding into 3 other areas: Palatine, Chicago, and Elmhurst. So if you have any interest in collaborating or connecting relating that expansion, I would be happy to discuss that. You can either send me a private message or drop a note in the comments. So Tiffany, did you have anything else that you want? Actually, no, I actually have one thing I would like to ask of you, because this has been so huge for me, and we touched on this earlier, is mindset, right? Like, so the biggest hurdle for many people, right, is mindset. I'm sure you encounter this. For me, that was probably the biggest hurdle for my journey to obtaining optimal gut health. What do you think, Tiffany? So this might be tough. What do you think is one tip that you could give people to overcome and move beyond themselves related to mindset?
Okay, so I'm going to explain something first, and then I'm going to give you the tip. When you're going through a transformational change, and I say transformational for a reason, because if it's just a change, it becomes a yo-yo, and you can go to Weight Watchers. Sorry, but that's what it is. You need a transformational change. You will have pre-contemplation, right? This is where you're like, I should do it, but I got all these excuses, and you come up with all these reasons why you just don't feel good enough. You don't have the right workout clothes. Oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the time, blah, 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 right? Then you go into contemplating. When you're contemplating, it's normally because somebody has said something to you and your mind is like, oh, they told me I was fat. Oh, my husband said that outfit didn't look good. And you're like, you're a little bit more in like, I should really do something about this. Or your doctor said, oh, you're pre-diabetic. We need to watch this, right? So you add a small triggering event that is sitting in your head, kind of nagging. Then you'll go into preparation. Preparation is the step where you can call me and we'll work together at that point. Preparation is the place where you went out and bought workout clothes. You went out and bought all these vegetables at the store, not knowing what you're going to do with them. You went out and maybe purchased an enzyme. You went out and decided you were going to join a gym. You went out and you did something to prepare, but you haven't done anything with it. That's when you need a coach, because that's when your mind is ready to change, right? Then you can do action. So what I would tell you for my one tip today is if you're in that preparation standpoint, that's where you can actually start to have a transformation. You need to take one step of actions, honestly today, because you're watching this video today. And my step that I would tell you is to go find something in your house that no longer serves you and put it outside. Put it on the curb. It's Saturday. Somebody will pick it up. I don't care if it's magazines, it's junk mail, it's your receipts from the last 5 years that you've already scanned in, so why are you hanging on to them? Or it's an old toaster, or maybe you got a blender, or whatever it is that's not serving you. Take it out of your house today, and that's your action step. And when you see me on Monday, tell me what you got rid of. And if you want the tax write-off, take it to Salvation Army or Goodwill.
I love that challenge. So I'm totally getting rid of some stuff today.
So can I give them a prize if they actually do the challenge and come tell us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So let's do the challenge.
If you do the challenge and you come Monday and you're like, this is what I got rid of. This is what I got out. This was the thing that was not serving me. I will give you a free meal plan for 1 whole week.
Ah, that's awesome. Tiffany's meal plans are amazing, guys, by the way. Like, I still use a lot of the recipes, and like, it's awesome. Like, her recipes are awesome. So that's cool. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. So challenge, get your challenge on, come out to Monday's event. get rid of something today. That's your start on a journey to better health. And come out and see us on Monday night, 5:30 to 8:30 at the American Legion. Come meet Miss Tiffany Hinton. She's amazing. Her cookbook, I cannot wait to thumb through that cookbook. Super excited about that. Thank you again, Tiffany, for sharing this time with us and your morning away from your girls. Give them a big squeeze and your hubby, and we will see you on Monday. Anyone that did ask any questions, I will get to them in the comments later. But again, if you got value from this, please type #value in the comments, and we'll put some information about the event and Tiffany's group and how you can get connected and get more involved and, you know, lead a better life in 2018 to better wellness and better health. So again, thank you, Tiffany, for joining us. I appreciate it. Make your Saturday great. I'll see you Monday. Get on that challenge, people.
For this great opportunity, guys. If you've got questions and Janelle doesn't answer them, I'll get in there. So have a great, amazing Saturday. I will see you Monday night.
Take care. Bye, Tiff.
Bye.